everyone. We are here for the August energy update, which will include some information about Lionsgate, which of course we are in now. I don't know the specific dates. I want to say it was the 26th through, I don't know, the 11th. But anyway, Lionsgate is that 8/8 portal, August 8th. So we are headed into that here in the next week. And honestly, I did not expect the information that came through. The world we're in as humans that we're looking at, if we look at externally to ourselves, it doesn't look lovely, right? It looks tough, it looks difficult. But again, those of us who are going through this journey consciously aware of what this journey is, we understand that we need to start very much, that this is an inward journey, needing to start to look within to create the new without, right? Anyway, point in this is oh my gosh, this is the most, I think, I'll just say uplifting, positive energy update that I've seen in a while. I mean, it's all about the Leo energy, and I've never really had this happen before. I've never had this much energy come through with where we are. And what they are talking to me about too is, and I think I've told you guys, well, I know I've told you guys this before, you might not remember it, is that I never get a lot of information on the 112233 up through 77. I don't get much on that. Then when Lionsgate comes 8/8, they always talk about how that's momentum for the rest of the year forward. And then the other, I'll just say gateways or portals, the 9/9, 10/10, 11/11, 12/12, are just more momentum added to Lionsgate. But they always show those as being the energetic, like shooting us into the new year kind of thing. We build momentum. So I don't know how you want to take that, but they've always shown it to me this way. And we are starting out with a bang on the 8/8. With the 8/8 is what I keep getting. So remember, how I see it, how they've shown it to me is we move through the year, but then as August comes in, this energy of Lionsgate brings in this new energy for creation and expansion and passion, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute, drives that forward into the rest of the year through the other gateways and takes us into the new year. So, okay, so this is what I'm getting now too, is what we embody in August is what will sow the seeds of what we will begin to see in, they keep showing April of next year, or like next spring. So I think that in and of itself is fascinating. So again, just so you know what happened with me, I went to meditate just like a regular in my mornings, and this morning I I had information come through. So instead of meditating, I started taking notes, and it just started flowing through. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about here today is what I received this morning, and of course I always add to that, receive information as we go forward, and which of course I just did. But point is we're going to add more layers to this. But this is such a highly energetic, highly positive view of things, in the sense of how they want us to move forward, how they want us to look at our journey. Okay, remember, it's about how you move forward in your journey. And the thing is, we as individual light workers, we carry so much that affects the rest of the collective, because remember, we're all connected. And when we raise our frequency and vibration through all the things that we talk about, right, we ignite others into their space. We may not see that, we may not understand it. Some of us do. Some of us have started to see that happen. But the point is we are on fire. Literally. Oh, Leo's a fire sign. Okay. We are on fire, literally, in August. Now, okay, so that could be, too, we're on fire. Is the earth on fire? What's going on there, too, right? On fire. But I do get this fire. I get the Leo sign. I get the Leo energy, but more than ever before. So what they said to me this morning when they were starting out, remember, they're kind of funny, too, sometimes. And they said, creative Leo energy is the theme, and it's just expansive, and it's large. But then they started playing a song, which I've only heard a few times, because I'm I was not that aware of, haven't been that aware of music in the last few years, but I know I'd heard this before. They started singing more passion, more energy. Now, do you guys remember that song? So I was like, what song is that? So I looked it up. More passion, more energy, more passion. I'm not going to try to sing fully. I was going to play it, but I figured I'd get nixnayed on YouTube because I use somebody else's music, so I don't know how that works. But anyway, more passion, more energy is the theme for August, okay? There's a lot of other information that came through as well, which I'm going to share with you. So what they said to me just as I started to do this video is, what fuels your fire, do more of it. What fuels your fire, do more of it. And if you're suppressing what fuels your fire, you can't do that any longer, okay? We need to start doing it, even if it's in a little way. Let's just say I'm an artist. I've owned 10,000 pieces of art supplies over the years. I have baskets of things, all right? And I have my pens or my pencils and my pad of paper sitting on my dining room table, and I walk past it forever and a day. And instead what they want us to do is to start to fuel that fire. What can you do that adds something of creative outlet onto that piece of paper with your pencils? What can you do? That passion of the person who could be that artist, who could do a lot more with it, but how can you start that? How can you fuel your fire? How can you fuel your fire? Okay, so what they said was, what fuels your fire, do more of it. We need this now. We need this more than ever, because the new earth is going to be created through our creative expansion, our creativity, our imagination of what can be. All right? So the things that are passionate inside of us that we desire to create and to share with others, and that we desire to see manifest and on paper, or in a garden, or whatever that means for you, that is of your passion to create, we need to do more of it. And they said, this is the expansive energy we need. This is the expansive energy we need to shift and change the rest of the collective as well. Now, of course, we continue to do in tandem our inner work, all of that stuff. But as we start expressing out who we truly are through our passions and our desires and that energy of the Leo season, and that's going to take us through the rest of the year, this is massive and has a massive impact on others. So what I would say is, I think they said something about riding that wave. Yeah, I'll come to that. Okay, so as I was in my meditation, so that's the main theme we've got going on now, okay? Remember, too, as always a reminder, it's not, what's going on in the outside world and then you stepping out and drowning in it or falling off a cliff. I don't need to repeat that. You guys already know this, right? But I will say we will continue to have to be aware of that. But what I keep getting with Leo season is that it's like going to light a match to all that stuff. And I don't know what that actually means, right? What it's going to look like in the material world, but energetically speaking, we will overwhelm with a bonfire with our creative, expansive energy. Okay, so there's a lot of conversation about fire in this channel. Fire, bonfire, burning to the ground, but with creative expansion, more passion, more energy, expansive energy. All right, so I'm going to go through what they brought through to me, and if needed, we will discuss them further. But this is the core. This is the core. Grab what you feel you've wanted to do, and don't do this thing of, oh, I don't have time. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, I can't do this, because it's sitting there as a seed, and you know it. How can you do something in a little way that you've always wanted to do, or that you feel, or maybe you've started it and you want to add more time to it? It fuels your fire. What does that mean? What does that mean for you? All right. Okay. So then they said the word split, and they just said the word split. And I'm like, then I started to see the visual, and the visual was of, this is the continuation of the split, okay, of the collective, and it's real. All right. But that what we're doing is that we are really in this process of creative expansion, and like we've talked about, that fork in the road, the split, where we're creating that timeline, or that following that timeline, and this is really right this year where we're splitting off. But where we're going to create that new earth is those of us who are splitting off are going to be doing this, using this creative energy, this passion, this imagination of what can be as earth, what can be for our life, what can be for our collective journey together, what can be, right? That's how we create, by what we love, what we desire, what we can imagine. All right. Oh gosh, the song imagine all the people from, and I'm going to get this wrong, either the Beatles or John Lennon. Sorry, but that just came through. So anyway, all right, let's go on with what they said. So the split, yes, that's what they were talking about there is that's contributing, or that we're at that split. We're going to, gosh, there's an acceleration of this expansion that we're going to see dramatically. And, we're leading into, I mean, think about it. I've said for quite some time, I even said this back in 2024, is that it felt like April of 2026 or spring in the Northern Hemisphere of 2026 is going to, they just said rock our boats. And I don't know if it's a beginning of that, if it's a feeling, I don't know what it is, but we are leading up to that. We're creating that pathway for that way forward. Then they showed me a visual. And they started to show, so this is all connected information. But they started to show a light body, okay, like one of our light bodies, and they showed strands of light coming through the crown. And this has a lot to do with what I just talked about, creative expansion, like bringing in that light to fuel our fire. Gosh, there's a lot of fire energy, which that makes so much sense. It's Leo season. Wow, that's interesting. To fuel our fire of expansion, of creativity. But there's the supportive part of that where obviously what they're wanting us to do is to support that opportunity that we have. This is an arduous journey of waking up, particularly in our bodies and our minds and our emotional system, right? And our energetic system, our field. We need to support that with the practices that we have, okay? There are all kinds of things we can do, but really wanting to get those chakras nicely aligned. And when we start really tuning in this way and doing this energy work on ourselves daily, I believe we all should be doing something for ourselves each day on that. And yes, many of us go to Reiki practitioners to add to that, which I believe is very important too, for other people to look at our field. But anyway, point is as we do that, we're allowing that continued highway. So you don't have any detours or closures in that beautiful energetic highway. So they keep showing shards of light coming through, really beautiful, coming through us. So continuing to support that opportunity that we all have. All right. So they then said to me, and this is where they're going to get into more of their sayings, their voice, I will just say. You know how the light keepers talk is rather poetic. Sometimes it can be riddled. And it's really where the power of these channeled messages come from. So they said, carry the light, carry the torch of expression. That's what we're talking about. Carry the light, carry the torch of expression. Everything can be. Know that. Everything can be. You don't need to be a frustrated artist and think you can't do the thing, or whatever it is. Maybe you wanted to cook and be a chef. Or maybe you wanted to feed people in a way. There's always opportunity, but we need to get the spark turning into a flame. Like at least keep feeding that spark so that can turn into a flame down the road. So carry the light, carry the torch of expression. Remember, this is August energy that we're going to take forward, and it's a big month. Then they said, and this all connects, like I said, they're using different metaphors and analogies, but they said, the river of life, manipulate the flow of the stream, stand in the way. You are the stream and the leaf on the stream. Okay, so in the past, years ago, they continue to use this not as frequently, but they talk about being the leaf of the stream. And they use that oftentimes as the stream being the flow of life. The universe, whatever, the flow, right? They talk about us being a leaf. Well, the leaf especially as we go through this journey, the leaf on the stream, literally, it doesn't control itself. It allows itself to flow and to move and to end up where it ends up and then move out back into the stream or maybe back onto the bank. Wherever it is, it allows itself just to flow, all right? Because the stream is taking it where it needs to go, where the stream is taking the flow of life, right? They want us to be more like that. The river of life. Manipulate the flow of the stream. Stand in the way. Because you are the stream and the leaf at the same time on the stream. I hope that makes sense. I think it's beautiful. All right, so take that forward. All right, so then they go into some of their individual poetic pieces, or more like sayings that are rather, I want to say pithy, but there's definitely something to take away. And then they're going to end with this, just a lovely piece. And a big part of this is for you to be able to understand how expansive and whole you are. We have a lot of difficulty as humans realizing that we have everything within us that we need. We are the gods and goddesses of the universe. We have everything that we need to live on our highest truth. But that's hard to understand as a human in this 3D world. But that is the journey, right? So a lot of this here is helping us understand that further, but also to understand that we are in a window of time. And it's really a good chunk. Well, we're in it now, but it's Lionsgate, but it's also August. And it's as though the lion is the entrance to the rest of the year. Now, I don't know if there's anything astrological about that those of you know that connects properly, that like the Leo season is the entrance to, again, I'm not an astrologist, which is why I don't know, but I always just get energy, I get these visuals, and I do get the lion opening the door kind of thing. So, all right, let's see. Here's their next one. They said, catch the wave, run against the current. And then they showed me salmon going upstream. Okay, we know salmon go upstream, all right, fighting upstream to spawn, right? Catch the wave, run against the current, for you will birth the new way forward swimming upstream. Right? I mean, think about it. Going through this awakening journey, even though as a human we feel that we didn't choose it and it just kind of happened, right? Although we know we did choose it as a soul. But it's just, oftentimes for most of us, it was a very surprising kind of thing that's occurring. But now we are swimming upstream, right? But more and more people are joining us. But it is a swimming upstream against the culture we've lived in, the societies we've created, the must-haves or must-dos, shoulds and shouldn'ts and all of that, right? Kind of that old Pisces age energy where we are now swimming upstream. And we see it all over the place. It's so cool. People just being themselves and expressing out who they are, right? So that said, they're really wanting to emphasize that to you as well. We are swimming upstream. And yes, I mean, it's a perfect metaphor because, oh my God, swimming upstream can be exhausting. We're fighting, or I want to say fighting, we're integrating all these energies from the cosmos. We're dealing with all of our particular missions and purposes in this journey, whether it be our energetic soul purpose that our field is handling, whether it's that 3D material world purpose that we are living, that mission that we're living. We're swimming upstream, right? And we're swimming upstream in the sense that, there are more people that aren't awake than there are awake, right? So anyway, I love that little piece, and I hope that's helpful too. Okay, so here comes the next one. So they said expansion is happening now. It's breakdown and rebuild. It's all happening at the same time. Breakdown and rebuild. Remember, we've said this over and over again. Everything is not coming crashing to the ground and we're going to be sitting in dust. It might feel that way. That's not the case. We are rebuilding at the same time, and you are a critical part of that as you're going through your awakening journey, okay? We are rebuilding. Breakdown, rebuild at the same time. They said, but then they said, this validates this. It's all at once, but it's a gradual approach. So I'm going to read that again. Expansion is happening now. We are breaking down and we're rebuilding at the same time. It is all at once, but it is a gradual approach, because so many of us are like, can we just get this over with and do this now? Oh no. Because we can't have all that energy happening at once. We would blow ourselves up. If all the collective shifted now, you have any idea what the ripple effect would be out in the cosmos? It can't happen because the energy is so powerful. So what we have to do is we're doing this, I think I've drawn the charts before. If we look at time and we look at, we'll just call it ascension on the vertical, it's like this. And I'm drawing it the opposite way of the way you're seeing it, I'm sure. But you see what I'm getting at. Is this, it's not a straight trajectory of like, whoop, we just go straight up. It's like this, but it's like within that, it's like this. Okay? So understand that, that it is definitely a gradual approach over years. We are seeing a speeding up of things happening, but I think we see that more because we are, those of us going through this, well, I don't want to say those of us going through this journey, but those that are aware we're going through the journey are able to pick up more on what's happening out there. Okay, so then they said, let's see. Oh, okay, they're talking about now in the Lionsgate portal. They said it's a bright spot in a dark sky. Again, I don't know what that might astrologically mean for any of you that hear that and read that, but it says 8-8 opens the rest of the year. So I mentioned that earlier. Greater expansion also means greater breakdown. So I'll read that again. Bright spot in a dark sky. 8-8 opens the rest of the year. Greater expansion also means greater breakdown. So what I would say to you is understand these times. We are lighting a fire in August. Okay, we're lighting a fire. It's like a bonfire is what they keep showing me. So what we're going to see is greater expansion, but remember, most people are focusing on the breakdown. No, we're going to see greater breakdown, but remember, that's where that whole idea of getting sucked into that, and we can talk about lower frequencies, higher frequencies, good or bad, evil, heavenly and divine, whatever you want to call it, but there's that one that wants to suck our power out and keep us in the same place we've always been, which is fear, dependency, the inability to be autonomous, all of that, all right? Inability to be free. So keep that in mind. We will see that breakdown continue, but we're going to see the expansion, all right? And again, the average person may need to look, may not see it, but it's going to be in their everyday interactions. So anyway, enough of that. Okay, the next one was, okay, this is important, as we've talked, do not fear. Hold close to you, dear, the light within that guides you to the destiny that you are here for. I'm going to read it again. Do not fear. Hold close to you, dear, the light within that guides you to the destiny that you are here for. I just love that. I don't think there's a lot to say about that. All right, here's another piece they brought through. This is all in, 10-minute meditation today. All meant for you to hear. Okay, they then said, might you travel the stars and see how far you have come to be brought into these times greater than before. You'll see, creating what has not been before. Now you find opening the door to the times that are meant for all. All right, then we move into, I don't know if we need to decipher that, but let's just look at this. Oh, okay, so now what they're showing me, might you travel the stars and see how far you have come? Remember, this is what they're showing me, we don't have the perspective. We don't remember. Some of us may. The lives we've had of torment and torture and interplanetary warfare. So they're showing galactic stuff, right? Interplanetary warfare. We've been in such worse places than now. So many of us are back here on Earth rectifying that, like the Orion Wars as an example. I think I've mentioned that to you. So in many ways, we're kind of playing that out. We're playing out what is also happening on higher dimensions, or other dimensions, I should say, other timelines, collapsing. All of that. So might you travel the stars and see how far you have come from those times, okay? To be brought into these times greater than before. Exactly. You'll see, creating what has not been before. Yes, exactly, because we've not been here before. All right, we have not been here before. This is a galactic journey, and we are a part of this huge consciousness experiment. Huge consciousness experiment. Okay, we are defragging like nobody's business. They brought that through to me the other day. I did make a note on this too. That we're defragging, and those of you who are in IT or anything to do with technology probably know what defragging is. But it is that, and I'm not in IT or technology. I just know defragging means cleaning up, I think, and breaking down. Anyway, All right. Might you travel the stars? I'm going to read it again. Might you travel the stars and see how far you have come to be brought into these times, greater than before. You'll see, creating what has not been before. Exactly. Never done before. Now you find opening the door to the times that are meant for all. And we are opening that door. We're moving forward in that door. And so remember, everything I'm talking about today aligns with, what we've been doing, but there's more power in this now for August and for the Lionsgate that we're in. Taking that forward, living in your dreams and passion, moving forward with that energy. And more passion, more energy. Go play that song. I did. What was really interesting is I was like, more passion, more energy. This was this morning, right? So I typed in song because I thought there was a song, more passion, more energy. It comes up and there's a big smiley face on the one that I had with a human dancing, but the smiley face is on the head. And the really interesting thing was it's 1 minute and 11 seconds long. 1:11. I was like, oh, well, of course, right? Okay. So the other thing, so now I'm going to move you into, I think this is beautiful. And it kind of just says it all. And it's also helping us understand how we are in August. We're launching. We are launching. We can't ignore the passions and the desires that we have within us. We can't just sit still any longer. That itch, what is it you want? Has it been suppressed for so long that you can hardly feel it, but you know it, and you don't even want to bring it up because it hurts that you haven't been able to do the thing? What is it? All right? Some of you, many of you, I don't know, may already be doing it, because remember, we don't always do everything all at once, per what I said earlier. Others of us are holding back on so much of what we desire to do. And it doesn't mean we have to do it full blown right away, right? But what is in your imagination and creativity? What is it you desire? The universe is here to support us in this. What little steps can you take? Pull it out of the background that's been uncovered or that's been buried, that's been covered for eons. And it's all different reasons, whether it's from somebody in your early years that said, you can't do that. Nobody, you can't do that. That's not you. You can't do that. Or you'll never make money doing that. Or all those things that keep us, especially when you're younger, right? Keep us from doing the things that we have felt we want to do. And then we grow up and we become adult and we do the adult thing and then we just put that all aside, right? Because of other responsibilities. There's a way forward to do that, is what I will tell you. All right. This, I think, is beautiful. And this is how they are really wanting us to move forward and understand our power in these times. So here we go. You are the towboat and the wrecking crew, the driving rains, the sunshine too, the harbor lights, the darkest dawn, the protector force brought from above, the light that comes and wakes up too in ways that shakes them in their boots, the knowing that all is well, yet the feeling that you are all in the swill, the caring heart that loves in force, all who exist, because of course you know it is divine love that saves the day, yet you pull the carpet out from those who won't play. You are the starlight and the heavens bright, and yet you are too the storms that pass, clearing out what no longer serves at last. The meteors you are too that shine at night with destruction in their sight. All you are of everything you see and all that you don't. For you are here to be anything and all and nothing too. The completeness of the heavens birthed from the new you. I just think that's beautiful. I just think that's beautiful because it shows us that we are everything and all. You know how we've talked so much about the universe is within us? But it is. It is. And they really want you to understand that, where your power and your glory and your rebirth comes from. Because when it does within you, and you express out who you want to be, the rest of the collective has to follow. It has to follow. Again, you can call it the 100th monkey. You can call it, the 100th monkey idea. But it is literally, we are magnetic. We are chopping down for us to create that path for the rest to come forward. That's how powerful you are. And I want you to understand that moving forward and taking advantage of this Leo energy. However you choose to represent that within your own journey is obviously up to you. But I think this is just such an important energy update, because as we on occasion look out in the world and see what is going on from the higher perspective, we understand these things must happen, even though we don't understand the full story and understanding at all, because it is over eons that we have manifest everything we see today, right? In our individual journey and our collective journey. And that doesn't mean we don't have sadness and pain and empathy in our heart, and we pray or we put out good energy for all the horrible things that are happening. But we have to understand too, that's the breakdown, and what we're having happen now is this recreation, all right? With the divine love that is here to guide us forward, that is in each and every single one of us, with these cosmic alignments assisting us forward, helping us feel that even more within ourselves. So with that today, I will leave you with this beautiful positive message of the times we are in, the Leo energy now, taking advantage of that as we move forward, taking it with you for the rest of the year, and knowing that this is a gateway that is opening up, as I have understood it, for the remainder of the year, moving us into 2026. So with that today, I will leave you with my website, purplerainhealing.com, where you can see all of my services. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Enjoy the power behind this time and move it into your own journey. Claim something for it and take it forward. Thank you so much for what you are doing for yourself and for the collective, and I will see you in the next video.